is starting, we should go. Let's go, let's go. And then we go to sujood, Allahu Akbar, and he's like this, are you guys okay? Now, if one of us is sick and falling down, okay. But two of us falling down at the same time? And then we both get up, Allahu Akbar, and say, okay guys, this isn't funny. Don't stop joking around. And then we go to sujood again, Allahu Akbar. He's like, oh no, I'm gonna go get help. And he wants to go get help. I'm not joking. This is actually a true story. And then the whole time, I'm holding myself. You know, in Salah, you're not supposed to laugh to make it invalidates your Salah. I'm holding myself like this. At this point, Shaitan's sitting there laughing. He doesn't have to do anything. This guy's doing all the work. He's distracting me the whole time. Shaitan, and this year, this other guy, this other year. SubhanAllah. And this is my university experience. True story. You know, many of us, we have our own funny experiences. You know, even for you guys here, you live in a non-Muslim environment where there's majority of people even here are atheists, and I'm even practicing, they're secular. So they see practicing Muslims is very strange for them. You know, and sometimes it's not easy, even finding a place to pray. Like sisters, when you guys go shopping, where do you guys pray for a private place? Changing room, fitting room. Yeah, why do you guys pray in the fitting room, may I ask? No one knows, everyone's just quiet. I don't know. You tell them. No, you tell them. Privacy. Private. Well, I have prayed in a fitting room. You guys were laughing at me, I'm laughing at you. I prayed in a fitting room and I thought it was private. And it is private. Almost. It is private, 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 private. And this is all public. This is all public. So you can see the person's feet to see if someone's in there. But for praying it's kind of difficult, especially when you're in sujood. Okay, let me explain. This is the board, this is the boundary. There is a person changing clothes here, and then the person changing clothes here. This is me praying. This person is talking to his wife. Yes, honey, I'm going to buy these pants. And wait! There's somebody looking at me! No, he's gone! There he is again! So it's not that private. See, my life, subhanAllah, is just crazy. It's crazy. You know, I'm standing here on stage right now and looking at you guys and making it normal. I'm not nervous, my arms aren't shaking. And interesting enough, when I make my videos on YouTube, and alhamdulillah, the YouTube videos, they did really well. I really didn't think I would ever be on stage. I wasn't ever interested to be on stage. I just wanted to do something to change, to help the Muslims change the environment, change what's going on. And I didn't really think anyone was going to watch the videos. If I did, obviously I would dress nicer. I'm dressed in my sleeping clothes most of the time. And what happened is I got invited to go do events. And when the organizers asked me, come do this event, I'm like, listen, I don't know how to do events. And they go, no, brother, please, you're being humble. I'm like, no, I'm not being humble. Oh, inshallah, no, I'm not really being humble. So the first sister, I remember, she invited me, she said, come, and somehow she convinced me. And as soon as I hung up the phone, I'm like, oh, what did I say yes to? So I went and took a class. And my class that I took was a speaking class to get my speaking thing up. And I live in Los Angeles, and it's a very diverse audience and in our class. And my teacher's like this, you know, we have an actress, we have a rodeo person, we have a real estate agent, we even have a Muslim. And I remember this Jewish lady in class like this, and she's looking to her friend like this. What's he gonna do? I'm like, really? Do you think Al-Qaeda has sent people to make jokes, to do things? So anyways, after a while she understood everything, but we had a police officer in class, and I'm not joking, really this is what happened to me. He said hello to me in a very interesting handshake. He's like, hey, you're Muslim, huh? You're doing good? Okay, huh? No, okay, fantastic. I was like, wow. One of these days I'm gonna go on stage, I'm gonna talk about it, and I just did. So funny things in my life. I used to, a long time ago, I used to teach kindergarten. And and I used to teach kindergarten, and what was funny about the whole kindergarten experience is when you work with adults and you work with children, it's two different experiences. Children will tell you everything on their mind. There is no filter. Mr. Ali, they used to call me Mr. Ali. This was way before I was Bob Ali. Mr. Ali, your breath smells very bad. Mr. Ali, your clothes don't match. So it was the funniest thing. So kids, they don't care. They say everything on their mind. And what's funny about children is no matter what question you ask, and every school teacher knows this, but for everybody else, no matter what question you ask to small children, and you ask who knows the answer, every child raises their hand, even though most of them have no idea what the answer is. I remember specifically, I asked a question one time, I was teaching science, and I asked the kids, what's an optical illusion? And everyone, oh, Mr. Ali, pick me. And I'm like, yes, I forgot. And then the next kid, everyone, and then finally one said, oh, Mr. Ali, I know what optical illusion, I know what it is. I'm like, yes, what is it? They're like, okay. One time, I wanted to go eat a cookie, right? I'm like, yeah. And then I went to the kitchen to open the cupboard, right? I'm like, yeah. And when I opened the cupboard, there was no cookie. I'm like, that's not an optical illusion. I need to go to the bathroom. And they're like, what? And then the kid went to the, it was chaos. And I see, subhanAllah, teaching children is so difficult. Now I have children, and teaching them, some things are easy, but by far the most difficult thing to teach a child is don't take off your pampers and don't pee in your underwear. We call it potty training in America. I'm not sure what they call it here. What do you guys call it here? Wow, isn't this training, right? Let me tell you about this training. I am convincing a child for the last 2 or 3 years of his life, he's playing, okay, he pees and he talks and he does everything normal. I'm telling you, don't do that anymore. You have to now think about it. No, Mama, I don't want to think about it. What's most challenging, I come home, and my daughter's name Amina. Amina, how's everything? Papa, guess what? I almost made it to the toilet. I'm like, what do you mean almost? Where is it? And then when the brothers come to my house, they ask me, brother, it's time for Salah, can I pray? I said, yeah, I've already prayed, you can pray. But there's one condition. You can't pray there, you can't pray there, you can't pray there, you can pretty much pray in this area. Why? Brother, do you have children? No, don't ask, brother, please just pray in this area. By the way, all our carpet's gone, and hopefully, inshallah, they burned it. We now have wood that's on the floor. But, subhanAllah, that's my child experiences. And, for myself, I have, last time I was here, I talked about marriage. And I talked about all the funny stuff that happens in marriage. I don't think I've told you guys a story about how I approached a sister once for marriage. There was a huge conference in America. 30,000 Muslims come to it. And Muslims come for everything, to play sports, to go to Islamic classes. They have the big scholars come. Everyone comes to this big conference. And they have it every year. And they have a big bazaar. The bazaar has 500 tables, booths, that people are selling merchandise. So that year, me and my friends, we were on a plane flying down there, and we noticed that there's 3 of us on the plane. And my friend to the left, the friend to the right, they told me, Ali, we're going there to get married. I said, well, okay, that's strange. I've never been to an Islamic conference where you're getting married. Okay, well, Ali, what are you going to do there? I said, I'm going there to sell my products. Okay. And let me give you a quick note. I was a brand new Muslim, so I didn't know the rules and things. So I was there to sell products. We go to the bazaar. They're going around trying to get married. They find nobody. I go, and I'm selling products. And this one sister comes to my booth. And she says, I'd like to get one of your products. How much is it? I says, $5. They said, I only have Canadian currency. Can I come back and give it to you once I find exchange money? I said, sure. She comes back the next day, then the next day, then the next day, then the next day. And then, few hours, the next day. And by the 3rd day, she says, Ali, I'm sorry. I told you to hold the product for me. Just sell it to somebody else. I don't have American currency. I said, sister, you've been here like 6 times. Just take it. So, are you sure? I said, sister, it's only $5. Just take it. So, Jazakallah khair. She takes it and she walks away. My friend, who was standing next to me, does this. I'm like, what? He's like, Ali, all the sisters who came here, you gave them no free product, you gave her the free product. So you want to marry her? I'm like, no, that's not true. Ali, listen to me. And this is, you ever have a friend who tries to convince you things that you don't want to do, but they try to convince you? He was a perfect salesman. Till this day, I know the brother. Very good salesman. He said, Ali, me and the other brother, we came here to get married. You did not come with the intention of getting married, but look, this gift came to you, and the gift is walking away. And if you do not go and tell the sister that you're interested in marriage, you will always ask yourself, what if? And I sat there, I'm like this. You're right. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm a robot. I'm like, okay. But I said, wait a second. I don't know what to say to the sister. I don't know the rules of Islam. I don't know what to do. He said, Ali, stop thinking. Just go. She's walking away. I said, give me a piece of paper. He said, what are you going to do? I said, just give me a piece of paper. I ripped a piece of paper. I get a pen. I'm starting to write stuff down. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'll be right back. I got the paper, and I'm going around looking for the sister. I look left, I look right, I look around, and I can't find the sister. There's 30,000 people at this conference. And finally, the sister was wearing white hijab, and the girl was wearing white hijab. And I see the sister, and she's walking by. And I stood like this, and I'm like, Assalamu alaikum, sister. And the sister just walks by me. And I just stand there like, okay, that didn't work. So I go in front of her again, I'm like, this is Assalamu alaikum, hello, not Assalamu alaikum, goodbye. I asked you a question. She's like, yes. I said, sister, I don't know how to ask this, but before I do, I want to ask you, are you single? And as soon as I said that, her face blushed. She turned her head down and said, yes. Like, this hurt? Does this hurt? Okay. So I said, okay, sister, this is very awkward for me. I don't know the rules of Islam. Please forgive me if I'm doing this wrong. This is my information I wrote on a piece of paper. If you're interested in speaking about marriage, because I want to do this the correct way, then we can communicate. If you're not interested in doing this about marriage, you get this piece of paper and you throw it away. But wait till I walk away before you throw away the paper, because it'll hurt my self-confidence. Assalamu alaikum, goodbye, and I run away. She just took the paper and I give it to her quickly. I didn't give her a chance to respond. I make left turns, right turns, left turns, right turns. Get back to the booth as soon as possible. Once I get back to the booth, you know the brother that did this? And he went and told all the brothers what I went to do. Now I have 7 brothers sitting at the booth. Baba Ali, tell us what's going on. 7 brothers. I'm sitting there explaining the story. As I'm explaining the story, all the brothers are doing just like what you guys are doing. They're smiling. Tell us the story. One piece of paper. All this stuff. And then one of them suddenly does this. And then the other one like an effect. And they all freeze like this. And I'm sitting there talking, and they're all frozen. And I'm like, something's wrong here. So I think to myself, I say it out loud, I say, is she behind me? Yes. She was standing behind me. And I'm like, what do I say? She's going to think this was a joke. They say, oh, go do this joke and make her do this, and it's not sincere. How do I explain this? But then I start thinking, how much has she heard? I don't know if she's heard anything. So I say, okay, then we just let her speak first before I speak. And I turned around and I'm like, Assalamu alaikum. She's like, wa alaikum salam. And there's this awkward pause. Except no one was laughing like you guys were laughing. This is dead silence. 7 brothers behind me, her, quiet. And then she says, here's the number of my father. If you're interested, then we should speak to him first, and then we can go from there. I said, is that it? She's like, yes. What else could there be? I'm like, nothing. So I took the piece of paper. I went home and I contacted the father. Oh, it gets crazier. The father, these are true stories. The father, I spoke to him, and her father, for whatever reason, did not like the background that I was born in Iran, etc., etc., etc. For whatever reason, the Sunni-Shia conflict or whatever. He thought I was Iran, Ali, Shia, etc., etc., but even though I'm not, I'm actually Sunni, but it's okay. Etc. So he had all this conflict. He said, I don't like this guy. And the daughter's like, you haven't even met him. I don't like him. I don't want you to talk to him. And then I told the sister, look, if this is the situation, then I'm not interested. I'm not going to continue speaking to you. I want to do things the correct way. She called me later and said, my father wants to meet you in person and speak to you. And I said, okay, fine. And then she told her father, Ali is going to come and visit you. He didn't like that idea. She tricked both of us to meet each other. I flew from America to Canada, and I found out I was tricked. I get to their house. At their house, the place is full of smoke. Why is there smoke? I learned that he starts smoking because of me. I am sitting down, I'm like, this is so awkward. As I'm sitting down in this environment, I see 3 chairs lined up in like an interview panel. And I'm sitting across, and we're in this long hallway, and at the end of the hallway, like where this podium is, they put a TV set. And the mother knew this was an awkward situation, so she put on Discovery Channel. So if there's awkward silence between the father and me, because there'll be so much tension, we all turn our heads and watch Discovery Channel. That way there's no haram things come. Yeah, so it gets worse. So what happened, as he's sitting there talking, he starts talking about the fighting of Muslims and the ummah and the bloodshed and this and that. And as he's talking, it's very, very serious. Suddenly, the mother face gets red, gets up and walks right out. I'm like, what happened? In my head, I'm like, something happened. Why is her face red and why is she laughing, running out of the room when her husband's talking about something very serious? And then the daughter gets up and walks right out. And she's laughing. And we don't know what's going on. And the father, he's so intense. His eyes are intense. He's talking about the situation of the ummah. And I'm like, what's going on? There's something funny on TV. And I'm like, Ali, don't look. Don't look. If you look, you will laugh. Don't look. Don't look. And then I look. And of all the shows that could be on Discovery Channel, it was mating season on Discovery Channel. They had camels mating, and what I did is I couldn't hold myself from laughing, and then he paused. He paused the entire thing. He said, Ali, why do you want to marry my daughter? And dead silence. And Discovery Channel is loud. I'm sitting there quiet. I'm holding myself like this. I'm laughing. I'm trying not to laugh. I remember I bit my tongue. And I'm talking like this, and I'm saying, he's looking at me like, why is his face under his t-shirt? But I kept doing this because he thought I was going to laugh about the situation of Omar. And I'm like, brother, I need to go to the bathroom. So why do you want to marry my daughter? I need to go to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom. And I laughed for 2 or 3 minutes out loud. The father thought I was extremely strange. And it didn't work out with the sister. But I learned. Marriage is not always the easiest thing, you know? And I was like, you know what, I gotta do something different. And then I came back, alhamdulillah, I met my wife, the girl of my dreams, alhamdulillah, and I've been married for 11 years. We have 2 children, and funny stories with them, and they give me more than enough laughter. Like the same way you guys are laughing, my children, subhanAllah, they make me laugh all the time. They do silly things. My daughter, at the age of 2 years old, she asked me, Baba, who's Santa Claus? I'm like, why did you hear that? I was watching television. There's this guy. He gives presents. Who is this guy? I'm like, Amina, this guy's not real. It's a fictionary character. They used to make money. And I am honest with my kid. I tell him straight up. Okay, so he's not real. That's all the 3-year-old understood. It is not real. I said, he is not real. Okay. So they go to the mall, shopping center, and they're walking with my wife, and this is during the Christmas time, and they see the Santa Claus taking pictures with children. And Amina, she looks at them and says, Mama, they're taking pictures of Santa. And my wife says, okay, Amina, let's go. No, I'm going to go tell them that he's not real. And Amina, my wife said, no, we have to go. No, I will tell them. Hey kids, he's not real. He's not real. Oh, subhanAllah, my wife is dragging this child. Come. We live in a Jewish Orthodox area where people are very, very Jewish. So we're the very few Muslims that be there. And it's like this, it looks like my wife is teaching this kid to go scream at them and say this thing. That's our experience with the Christians. Let me explain this experience with the Jewish people. Unfortunately, again, my other daughter, we call her the Muslim.